Mesquite Creek Outfitters is located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Texas. Come enjoy a refreshing drink, a light menu, chat with friends, and maybe even shop a little bit. Mesquite Creek Outfitters is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday. The show is live at 6 p.m. at MCO.
And we're live here, Mesquite Creek Outfitters, 704 South Austin Avenue for the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live here with Coach Jordon Vierra. The pre-playoff show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock over at Hutto High School.
Yep.
Game 1 against the Navarro Vikings out of the Austin ISD in District number 24. Your Eagles come in, ranked number 18th in the state for what that's worth. It really doesn't mean anything now. It's time for the playoffs. Everyone that's qualified will play. And a lot of baseball this weekend. The first week, Coach, and congrats on a undefeated district championship, and then a nice win on Saturday over Cedar Ridge. Talk about this team in the direction they're headed into the playoffs now.
Yes, team's done a really good job of continuing to develop and continue to grow and capitalize on other people's mistakes. One of the things that we've been spending a lot of time about the past 6 weeks, 7 weeks through district is just continuing to develop and continue to find the different things that we need to get better at. And our guys have done a really good job of buying into it and continuing to work on those things. And, we're getting a little bit closer every week to playing the best kind of baseball we can. As we get ready for the playoffs, I think that we've only played the best that we could, maybe a handful of times. So, excited about what it looks like as we're reaching stride heading into the postseason.
Georgetown with a big win on Saturday. It spoke volumes to me as watching all of these games through the year of this team, knowing they had closed out district, knowing the playoffs for next week. Really, what do you play for on Saturday other than getting yourselves ready? And they responded with a great 5-1 victory over a good Cedar Ridge team headed to the playoffs in 6A baseball.
Yep.
And you love to see that focus out of these kids as they get ready for this week. Now you turn the tide of that. This team has checked some boxes. They made the playoffs like we talked about. They went undefeated in district. They're the district champions. Now it's the playoff run. You run into a district like District 24 out of Austin, some different aspects to look at, kind of a similar mirror to District 23 right now, and you have a group of teams that are clearly in the playoffs and a group of teams that clearly weren't going to make the playoffs. How do you keep those guys focused right on that as they go into a matchup against a Navarro team that we've only played 2 times, and that was last year in the bi-district round?
Yeah, we actually just got done talking about that, about the end of workouts today of – we're not overly worried about the opponent, about who's in the other dugout. Ultimately, we're about competing against the game of baseball and trying to find the different ways of being able to win the game. Regardless if it's Navarro over there or if it's Mag West, the defending state champions, it really doesn't matter. The objective is to understand what they like to do, but more importantly, understand what we do and what we do well, and use those tools to be able to exploit some weaknesses and take care of the baseball.
Another good year for Georgetown ISD sports all in all. If you look at Georgetown winning the district, Eastview fighting their way in and into the number 4 slot there in the playoffs. As it moves forward, this team, and a lot of the players talk about that. Hey, we're playing the game of baseball. We're not focused on who the opponent is. How excited are these kids now that now it's go time? The district is behind you. The wins are there. They're gone. We've won a district title. These kids are happy with that 3 years in a row for Georgetown. How is their mentality away from it, excited to get into this playoff run?
Yeah, they're excited. They're jumping at the bit for it. We spend a vast majority of our time talking about the 16-mile journey and what that looks like. And the first part of that, the first season of that was scrimmages. Second season was tournaments. Then you get into a third season district, and now this is the fourth and final season. Champions aren't crowned in January, right? They're crowned in June. And in order to be able to get to that, you got to play pretty good baseball through May. Our workouts this week have been really good, and they've done a phenomenal job of getting after it this week. And they understand that this is when it's time to go, when it's time to make things happen.
Talking about that 4th season now as we go into the playoffs, health-wise, how is the team sitting right now health-wise with injuries and players available for you tomorrow night?
Yeah, we're kind of we're finally getting over the illness, the plague that was sweeping the clubhouse there for a little bit. We're in a pretty good spot of health wise and setting us up for being able to have just about everybody back and being able to rock and roll.
After we don't look forward to it, let's talk about tomorrow, Friday, Saturday in this bi-district round. We play Navarro tomorrow at Hutto due to what is expected tonight. Some pretty big storms coming through the area. Likelihood that a game tomorrow would not be played.
There's a fair chance. I mean, it was very similar last year. We had Thursday, Friday, Saturday scheduled. Storms blew through Wednesday, ended up popping up Thursday night, and we sat there and tried to play at 10 o'clock at night, and ultimately I think we banged it at like 10:45 at night to not play. Tomorrow we'll be in a very similar situation, I think, of it's supposed to clear out after 5 o'clock. Is the weather report that we just received a little bit ago. So hopefully it clears out, dries out enough for us to be able to get 7 innings in. If it doesn't, then we'll sit and wait as long as we possibly can to hopefully play that game tomorrow. We do have obvious rain-out contingencies put into place of if Thursday gets washed, what happens Friday and Saturday. Our ultimate goal is to play the first one tomorrow
night. So it'll be 7 o'clock over at Hutto High School. They're in the same field situation design as Georgetown. All-turf infield, grass outfield, a great, nice complex over there at Hutto High School. And so come out and enjoy that. You can sit in the parking lot in your car if it's still raining. Everyone will be out there waiting for that opportunity. What kind of a time frame? What do you guys look at when you decide to call it and move the contingency plans if that happens tomorrow night?
So we can't play after midnight, so that's a piece that we have to take into consideration. And the other piece is what does the storms look like? What does the radar map look like? Is it looking like it's going to break up in time for us to be able to get out there, or are there going to be issues that could possibly continue to pop up along that way? So I'm just trying to look at the broad general picture, and then obviously the situation of is the weather putting us in a situation to get somebody hurt. That's the last thing that we want to do is for kids to get hurt and be in that situation. So
the series, the way it pans out right now, it'll be at Hutto on tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Friday night, if it's on schedule, it'll be at 7 p.m. here at Georgetown High School at Eagle Field, and if necessary on Saturday at Georgetown at 12 p.m. And so be watching for that. Social media updates will fly out there if things have to get changed. The games, ultimately, that comes down to you and Coach Anderson from Navarro tomorrow night if it needs to be canceled.
Correct, and in conjunction with the umpires as well.
So tomorrow night, just plan on it, 7 p.m. The weather's going to blow out. We're going to be able to play baseball. 7 p.m., the bi-district round. Your Georgetown Eagles will be the visitors tomorrow night in Game 1 at Hutto. And then on Friday night, we'll be back at Eagle Field and the home team in Game number 2. The only two times these teams have met was last year in the bi-district. Georgetown won it 12-0 and 10-0. But Jacob Anderson, the head coach at Navarro, brings back all of his starters on this team. A young team last year, a lot of seniors this year. A different look that you'll see, just was some more experience behind Navarro. What do you look for out of them different than what we saw maybe in district?
They're going to be competitive. They have a lot of guys back. They got a lot of returners. They've obviously developed a little bit more. They competed hard throughout their district, and Coach Anderson's a good coach, and he's going to have his guys prepared and ready to rock and roll for tomorrow. So, it's not an opponent that you look at and say chalk that up as a W. It's an opportunity to get to go play. So we're going to show up and make sure that we put our best foot forward.
The bi-district round starts tomorrow night, Hutto High School, 7 p.m. Come out and join us there and enjoy a baseball game. Your Georgetown Eagles, the visitors, they need your support. These kids have worked hard all year long. They sit at 21-10-1 overall and win in their district on a 3-game winning streak going in to tomorrow night. We're going to take a quick timeout. We change directions. This week we have no freshman and JV player of the week, but instead of a player, we're going to focus on one of the stat girls. She's been with this team. She has herself a gold medal from a state title in 22 as well. And we'll welcome Grace King with us here on the show in just a minute. Stay with us at Mesquite Creek Outfitters. We'll be right back on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. We're back here live at Mesquite Creek Outfitters, 704 South Austin Avenue, the host of your Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. And we're joined now by Grace King, one of the stat girls. And Grace is a senior at Georgetown High School, getting ready to graduate here May 20-something. And you even know your graduation date?
24th, yes.
I didn't even unmute her. I apologize. May 24th, today, an exciting day. Going to be going to the University of Texas and looking forward to, some cool things we'll discuss, but got to sign the housing agreement today.
Yes, sir.
Real life is becoming
yes.
Quickly around the corner. What's the plan for the senior summer now that you know kind of when you have to be where?
Well, I have a lot of senior trips I'm going to go on, so a lot of vacation, and then it'll go by really fast because so many things lined up, and then we'll be heading off to school.
Hey, speaking of trips, I heard you might have just gotten back from a trip.
I did, yes. Yeah? I went to Catalina Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she did not miss any class. Everything is done. She is a senior about to graduate. What is the workload now for you guys? Is it downhill for the seniors?
Yeah. I can't even tell you the last time I turned in an assignment. I have good grades, though. I have good grades.
As she looks towards her parents, I promise I have good grades. So you've been a part of this team for the longest. I think longer than I have been. I started calling Georgetown baseball in the year of the state title in 22.
Yes.
Your sophomore year. How exciting was that? What you girls? It's funny. We'll go. I didn't even bring the list of the stat girls. There's 4 of you girls. There's a couple of the student trainers that are with the team, and then Jake Bogman. You guys are at practices as involved as these kids are. How much fun have you had in this time with the baseball program, and what drew you to baseball?
Oh, it's so much fun. Originally, I wanted to join the program because I wanted to go into sports broadcasting, and so I was really interested in that area. A few things have changed since then, and that's not my end goal anymore, but that was originally where I was going.
If you get bored tomorrow night, you can always come over and put a headset on and help me call the game.
Okay.
We'll be live there. It's fun to do. It's a great hobby to get into. But now you talk about this direction has changed. What's the direction you're headed now as you head off to the University of Texas? Congratulations on that. It's not an easy school to get into. And so a big achievement in that and of itself. And what's the plan?
Well, it's still very blurry and undecided, but I am going to study religion and then see where that takes me. I think I have some other interests in interior design as well, and then we'll see where that goes. I would like to be working in a church, whether that's pastoring or coordinating or something like that.
Very cool. And on senior day when they announced that, it blew my wife and I's mind. My wife works as a coordinator in the children's ministry at our church, and so she was bummed to not get to hear your interview tonight as she's at a meeting that we are taking place. And so it's something that is just it's interesting to see. What drew you to that? Was it one specific thing? Was it or just
to ministry?
Yeah.
Well, I internship at my church, and I've been doing that for a while now, and I felt like I got the calling, and I did a lot of stuff when it came to volunteering and serving and teaching Sunday school classes, and I felt like that was my place to be.
And your church that you attend, I believe, is Celebration?
Yes, sir.
Is that where you've been involved? I was talking to your dad before. I played a lot of travel softball with Celebration Church, and some of my best friends that are members there and very involved. Radiant Conference is coming up this weekend. Plug for that.
Weekend.
And they need some more volunteers to help drive the golf carts and pick up the ladies. My buddy's been putting that out on social media today, but we're going to take a quick break. Grace isn't going anywhere. I've got to make sure because it looks like my power is about to die on my computer. So quick break. I'll be right back here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. That could have gone bad, but we got it fixed. The power strip is not on. So you make sure you turn those on before you start a broadcast, and your battery will charge on your laptop. How much fun was 2022? You ladies are as involved with this team as anybody. You travel with the team, and it was just as big for you to be a part of that. What kind of memory was that in the storm of the field and winning a state title?
Oh, it was so much fun. From the whole season, I can literally tell you, every single playoff game, it was so much fun. It was so exciting. All the boys were always so happy and cheering all the time. And I think it was just the anticipation of the state game leading up, and then finally when we got there, it was just so fun to be playing at Dell Diamond and just like seeing that environment and all the people in the stands supporting us, and it was so much fun.
It's kind of intimidating to go all the way to Dell Diamond to play a state title game against a team 16.2 miles away,
Yes.
and it's a sea of blue. It was so neat to see the Georgetown faithful pour into that stadium to support those guys. What are you going to miss the most about all this? You've built some good friendships. There's several of you stat girls that are seniors going to be moving on. What are you going to miss about all this?
Really just like the comfortability and like the easiness of just like being with your friends all the time and just like walking down the hall or walking to the field and getting to be with all of them. Yeah, I'm going to miss it a lot.
How hard have you ladies had to work at making sure the boys stay in line? And how much hard time do they give you girls as you're just as part of this program as anybody?
We've had our ups and downs, that's for sure. But I feel like we keep our distance pretty good. I mean, we definitely say some stuff about them. They say some stuff about us, but you draw the line.
As you go forward to UT, how much are you going to miss Georgetown and Georgetown High School? And the nice thing being you're going to be close, but what are you going to miss about the school itself and the time you spent there at Georgetown?
Oh, just the memories and the friendship and, like, not necessarily, like, high school itself, but just, like, the people. Like, I'll miss the people. I don't really love school all that much. I wouldn't like to do my homework every day, but it's just the people, and I'll be able to come back a lot, especially my younger brother still being at the school and in the program, so I'll be coming back.
All right. I was going to say, don't just disappear on us. We got to come back. They're like legends. You ladies that have been around this program, you guys know this team in and out just like anybody else that's around it. In that run for 2022, what's your favorite memory of the whole thing?
My favorite memory of the whole entire thing? Oh, definitely when we got to, like, stand at the Eagle. We, like, did a state walk, like, right after we, like, got to state. And nobody was there. It was just us and the team, and Coach B took us. And even though it wasn't during the school year, he still made that happen for us. It was really awesome.
And that's such a neat deal because it's a reserved for the kids that represent the school at the state level. And for you just told us something nice about Coach B. That is awesome. Of all the things we hear, we got one this year, and this one is when we get it. And so your friends are moving on. Are any of them staying close to you? You ladies have spent a lot of time together in this program.
Yes. Nicole Witt, she's going to Texas Tech. Carter Campbell's going to Tarleton, and then Ruby's staying here. She's a sophomore this year. So, yeah, we're all kind of separating.
The text messages need to be unlimited.
Yes.
The FaceTime data needs to be unlimited.
We definitely will keep our group chat.
So I figured because, man, y'all got the state of Texas covered with that 3 spread there at Tarleton and Tech and then at UT. Oh, man, I'm so glad you came. I'm so sorry.
Thank you for having me.
I waited 3 years to have one of you girls on here,
okay.
and then after senior day, I was like, it's a no-brainer. We're bringing Grace on. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Shout out to my mom and dad and my brother and my little sister for making everything happen.
Congratulations to one of the Stat Girls, the senior, Grace King. Thanks for joining us live here tonight on the Eagles Coaches Show. We'll take a quick time out. We come back. It's our final senior we've wrangled from the baseball team. Cooper Ashby joins us next here at Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Stay with us. And we're back live here at the Mesquite Creek Outfitters, 704 South Austin Avenue, host of your Georgetown Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. We get ready for the playoffs tomorrow, the by-district round, and our final senior we have wrangled in here because of his commitments. And, man, first off, Cooper Ashby wears number 1 on the team. There's so much to talk about with Cooper Ashby, committed to the next level. Redlands Community College in El Reno, Oklahoma.
Sir.
Top 10% of his class. That was a banquet you were at, and so a big thank you for your selection of Coach Vierra. It was a great choice because it forced Coach Payne to be here. I don't care if you wanted to be there. It's because Payne had to be here. I owe this young man a lot because I've been trying to get Coach Payne on this show since 2022, and it was going to be an ejection of Jordon for me to be able to get him. And you just made it happen like that. And so, but man, what a senior year you're having. I got to come to the day you signed your NLI to Redlands. Congrats on that to go to the next level. Man, education-wise and sports-wise, it seems like it's all exploding for you right now in your senior year.
Yes, sir. Since freshman year, I've been pretty dedicated in my grades, and that kind of flowed into baseball. Baseball has always been in my life, and so is school. And pretty much everything that I do in my life, I like to give 100%, and those are the top two priorities right now.
I tell you what, I think it's very clear you were the only Georgetown varsity baseball player to be first team All-State as an academic selection, which is a high honor, keeping your grades for your 4 years of high school above a 93. And so no time were you allowed to slack off, and it shows that dedication that you put into it. First off, congratulations on the academic side of it. That is so impressive, that work, and you can see the dedication you've put into that, and it's an honor that you should wear proudly. But then to be a part of this baseball team and then to continue, man, I got to go back a couple of games.
Sir.
3 innings in a 10-inning ball game. You come in relief. What's going through your head when Coach says, hey, warm up, you're going in?
Yeah,
that ball game over at Eastview.
That game was probably my favorite game that I've had here at Georgetown. That game was – nerves weren't high at all, just ready to go in, knew that was my spot and that was my job this year, and I'm very content with that job. I think 0 ERA through district is one hit allowed through district is that's my job, and that's what I want to do is go in there and fill it up. And if they get a hit, so what? It's make them earn it. And through Eastview, I went into it, and everybody was saying, hey, 7 innings and we're done. We end in a tie, so I'm like, all right, first inning, go in there, just don't blow the game. Then we go hit in the top of the 8th. All right, we're doing this. Going to the 8th, going to the 9th, and I asked to go in the 10th, got denied, but Andrew Nations came through and we won that game.
Usually when we see Cooper Ashby come out in relief, usually it's almost in that setup role, and we come in and an inning, 1 hit through district with a 0 ERA, nothing. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. That's impressive in and of itself. That kind of goes along with that grade point average. It's high, the ERA is low. 2 things that you really want in education and in baseball. What was it different on that night? Because it wasn't a 1 inning. It was like, hey, you're back on the mound inning 2.
That's right.
You're back on the mound inning 3. What's going through your head each inning when you go out? Hey, to ask for that ball in the 10th inning, get denied, but you asked for it. How much fun was that? What kind of confidence did it build in yourself knowing, hey, that inning was successful, we go and we rock this inning?
Yeah, I knew that my stuff was better than what they were bringing to the table, and whatever I had that night, which was probably about the best I could do, was better than what they had. So through the 7th, just trying to get through it, no runs, because I thought we were done after 7th. Getting through the 8th, all right, let's keep us in it, and let's go try to win in the 9th, and then the 9th, same thing, let's go win in the 10th.
You in there and pitch a fabulous 3 innings after a good pitching performance in the start from Riley, and then on the back end, Andrew Nations comes in and closes it down. What goes through the head of you guys after that first win, 3-2 in 10 innings, to win a big game, knowing you've won the district championship at that point, now you want to go undefeated for it. How much fun was that in your senior year to get that win in that crosstown game?
Yeah, absolutely. Playing Eastview every year, everybody kind of gets tense, as most people have said, and just getting the win is all we needed. And then moving forward from there, we go to Bastrop and take care of business there and just keep moving on. Our job's not done yet, so we're going to keep the train rolling.
How excited are you guys as a senior class now? It's a senior class's leadership that's got to take this team and go and make this playoff run. How have you, as this class, how are you guys ready to make this run and to lead this team through the playoffs?
A lot of our guys aren't playing baseball next year, and that's kind of their motivation is let's go out with a bang. And we're not going to give in to anybody. The name on their shirt and their hat doesn't mean anything to us anymore, and we're going to go out and give it our all. And I'd say we're pretty excited to get after this playoff season.
Now we look towards next year. Once you graduate, one of the top 10%, still amazing, in a class of over 460-something kids in the class. You're in that top 10%. Going to Redlands Community College up in El Reno. What brought Redlands into the picture, and what was the recruiting like, and what made you choose Redlands?
Yeah, the recruiting process was definitely long, sending 20 to 30 emails to coaches every day and had a couple options to choose from. Redlands felt like home to me, and that's what brought me to them.
What's the focus in Redlands there? One education-wise, what's the study going to be for you? And then two, on the baseball-wise, what's the direction you're going to take? Is it still obviously in the pitching, but is it going to be moving towards a starter, a reliever, a closer? What's the look there? Our thoughts?
I'm going to stay in the pitching role. I'll be a PO there and get to where I can. If whatever they want me to do, I'm in for. If they want me to start, I'll go out and shove, and they want me to relieve, I'll go out and shove as well. So that's the plan baseball-wise. Academically, I'm going to study business there, and then try to come back here and play ball and study sports management.
Sports management, you got to like that. That's a great field to get into. Business, I guess maybe you've had some role models in your life that have maybe been business people, maybe your dad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir, absolutely.
I think it's something to do with building homes and things like that. How excited are you to go to that next level? You've been in a program here at Georgetown under Coach V and Coach Payne under the last few years, and you ready yourself for that next level. How excited are you when it's time to load the car up and head up? How excited is Cooper to go?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up. The ride's only 5.5 hours, not too far from home, so I'm pretty pumped up to go. I'd say the hardest thing to do is to separate my anticipation for that and my focus on the season right now. So I'm kind of pushing off the anticipation. I'm pretty excited, but I'm pushing that off until this season comes to a close.
As you look at this playoff run here, to close out your time here at Georgetown to get ready for graduation, like Grace was talking about on May 24th, what's your favorite memory of Georgetown High School and your time here at Georgetown when it does come to an end?
I'd say the same as Grace. All the friends I've met here is the biggest part that I think is the most important. I think the bonds that I've created here could last a lifetime, and that's what I'm most that's what I'm most proud of.
As you go to the summertime, you have a regiment that's expected of you and working out, or are you going to have some free time? What's the summer look like for you?
I think the summer's pretty booked up. I'm going to keep working out, and then I'll play some summer ball with GPS. All
right, GPS, keeping the GPS name out there. The JV and freshman team, we kept talking to them all these past few weeks on the Coach Show. GPS, THZ, and Lone Star. It seemed to be the big programs around here. One thing about Cooper that people wouldn't know. What's one thing that makes you, I guess, you get a week off before baseball starts for the summer. You start those workouts. If you could do anything that Cooper just enjoys doing, where would we find you?
I'd go on a 5-day hunt, and then I'd come back and go to the lake for 2 days.
Sounds like David Flewitt has an inspiration role model on this team, because that's what he talks about. Your favorite thing, get out there behind a rifle and do some hunting? What's your favorite hunting?
I'd probably say pigs. They're the dumbest, so get out there and have some fun, mess around a little bit.
Now I got to find out when you come back in. We got a place up in Weir, several hundred acres that we're eradicating some pigs. I'll have to give you a shout. Well,
absolutely.
We've been given free reign. The owner will go unlock it for us to have fun. So I'll give you that shout when you get some time off. This season has been totally different for you guys as seniors. What's your favorite memory of your senior year, and how proud of you of this class are you as you get ready for it to all come to an end here in the next month?
I'd definitely say the Eastview game. If I had to pick something else, it'd be bouncing back after Prosper. Prosper, only game that I've given up an earned run this season. So bouncing back from that and then having the season that I've been having, I'd say that's probably my proudest moment as well.
I'll tell you what, this guy's drive and mindset is unreal. I love it. I wish we would have talked to you earlier in the year, but we saved the top of the class for the last here this week. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Got a shout-out from throwing partner Riley Hill. Got one from him, so I'll shout him out.
Cooper Ashby, where's number 1, your senior on your Georgetown Eagle baseball team. Quick timeout. We come back. We'll wrap it up with Coach V here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show live from Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Stay with us. back here live at the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. We'll figure it all out. Yeah, my wife's not here, and, of course, something gets messed up, and that was what I did tonight.
Typically how that works.
Every time she's not here, it kind of falls apart. So I apologize to Grace having to take a time out to figure out my power issues. But I tell you what, two of the top kids in this program, one on the non-player side, and we should have done this a long time ago. And so tell your other senior compadres as they leave, I'm so sorry. I wish we would have done this. It included you guys a lot earlier, you ladies a lot earlier, and it's been fun to. That was so cool to talk to you about it, and so neat to see the future that you guys have. And so, thank you for being here tonight, Grace. And then, man, you talk about just the echelon and the kids on this team. It's funny. I look up now, and while I'm talking to probably the tallest kid on the team in the show, the Twin Towers come in to represent as well over there with Cord and Mighty Mouse coming in on it. As you look at this season, Coach. This senior class, they've been around for a while. These kids are doing a great job this year, going out with a bang on an undefeated district championship. Talk about this senior class, what it's meant to the program and to you and the coaching staff.
They're a special group. They're a special group of guys for a number of reasons. You look at the overall time frame of it. Their freshman year was my first full year following COVID, and so. They're a group of guys that they've come in and they've worked exceptionally hard, and they've gotten after it, and they've put themselves in a position to go out on top. They're a group of guys who have obviously bought into things that we've been preaching. One of the number one things we preach on a regular basis is academics, and we had the opportunity to have I believe it's 11 of 13 seniors that are on our roster in some way, shape, or form. Make academic all-state, and so that's a huge credit to them for the time and effort that they've spent academically to understand that at some point in time baseball is going to be over and baseball is going to end, and academics obviously have to be a high priority, and these guys have done a phenomenal job, and gals as well, of making that an absolute priority. So it's been a lot of fun to watch them grow. It's been a lot of fun to watch them develop and to go from little squirrely freshman boys to young men who are going to go out in the world and do big things.
Talk about the flip side. As we've made changes this year in the coaches show with the freshman and sophomore or JV player of the week, having Grace on, how big are the non-player components of this program and how it makes things easier for you and this coaching staff in the role that they play?
It's a huge piece of everything that we do. The girls do a fantastic job of making sure that the stats are taken care of and put up in the correct places, taking that burden off of everybody else. You got Jake Bachman, who's around every single day, making sure cameras are set up and running the way that they need to be too, from cameras to Rapsodo, so that we can get some extra data during practice and set everything up, hitting fungos when he needs to the athletic trainers who obviously keep our guys on the field. We've been able to set up a process of having a number of different areas that aren't just players, but everybody's pushing towards the same common goal, and that's traveling 16 miles down Del Diamond and dogpiling and earn another ring.
As you lose a group of three vital stat girls that have been around, it's crazy to sit here and think in 22, as Grace was a sophomore, and always saying hi to them. They're always running around doing the work that you coaches don't want to do, is what I see them doing the most, and talking to them, and they always have these smiles on their faces. Yeah. They always seem to be enjoying themselves and having a good time. It just seems like it continues to radiate this program and the excitement to be around it. How do you replace that? Is there a program for people to be involved in, or is it just the luck of the draw that you have people wanting to be a part of it and contribute?
So we're fairly picky about who we allow to be a part of our program in that role, of somebody that has to understand baseball, right? Understand how to keep score. Somebody who's going to have a good head on their shoulders the entire time. And understand that it's about the baseball and not other things. And we've been very fortunate to have the girls that we have for the past 4 years. They've done everything from helping me organize closets to counting pants to making sure that I don't screw anything up, to babysitting from time to time. So it's been a kind of a jack of all trades, catch all kind of situation for the girls to be able to help the program out in different ways. And they're a group of girls that they don't ever complain. They don't ever whine about anything. They show up and they help out in any way that they can.
One thing, I totally forgot to ask Grace a bit about this. You talk about the dedication. These kids are at the field in the workouts and practices, the games, the traveling, and she has a job the entire time. I just can't believe this. And to see grades are there. She's getting a UT, so she's not uneducated. The standards at UT to get in are tough. But to get into UT, so you know her grades were high while working and then being around a baseball program.
Yeah.
The dedication of these kids to work so hard in the classroom like Cooper Ashby to be a top 10% at a major high school, at a big high school, and to be an all-state academic first team. It's just amazing to talk and see the dedication of these kids and what they put into it, but that the expectations that they continue to keep at that level. And so even to look up and you see kids like Cord Lawrence and Talon Ball. You talk about the multi-sport athletes, the kids that participate in other things like in choir, in band, in wrestling, in football. How do you keep that balance? How do you, as a coaching staff with Coach Payne, Coach Durrell, and now with Coach Key and Anzuris, how do you guys keep that balance but yet keep them focused on where the true importance lies outside of the game of baseball, and for you guys, for them, for developing into these young men and young women that are going to leave and carry on the name of Georgetown in other parts of the world?
Yeah, no, I think one of the big things that we have to spend a lot of time about talking is general priorities, right? And understanding where your priorities actually need to be, and understanding that if your priorities do get out of whack, then everything else is going to fall through the cracks, including baseball. You know, the top priorities are not baseball. The top priority is your faith, it's your family, it's your academics, and at the very tail end, it's going to be baseball. And if you keep those priorities in the correct order, then baseball takes care of itself. Because if you're worried about the important things immediately, then baseball ultimately becomes your joy of what you want to do, as opposed to some of the other things that you kind of have to grind through to get done. And so, you know, I think that for us, it's when you put the correct emphasis on the correct places of where priorities and energy and effort needs to go, that you get the results of what these kids have done. And, you know, I mean, we can sit up here and talk about priorities and talk about those things, but, you know, if the kids that we have aren't coming from the incredible families that they're coming from and wanting to do those things and being supported by the families, you know, none of it really ever happens. You know, I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it again, is we are beyond blessed to have incredible kids who come to our program because they come from incredible families. And they come from families who have similar goals and similar priorities to what our program does. And, you know, without that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. And so I think that we're just in a very fortunate position to be in Georgetown, America. And to be in a position to have such incredible kids that want to do things the right way and want to continue to rep the G the right way.
And the G gets rep tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Hutto High School will take on Navarro, the by-district round. Your district champion Georgetown Eagles will be the visitors tomorrow night. The broadcasts for the playoffs are controlled by the NFHS Network. They will be brought to you on NFHSnetwork.com. You have to pay for a subscription to see those games. The good thing is, pardon me, these allergies are hitting. Coach Payne he wore off on me in his sinuses. We will apply for and bring you the first. We know we have the by-district round, so I will be bringing the broadcast on NFHS. It will not be on SHN at all. It cannot be carried on SHN. NFHS is where it will be carried. So make sure you go to NFHSnetwork.com and search for Georgetown. It'll bring up a link, but you will just have to get a month membership. Do it 1 month at a time. Like I was talking to some parents at Bastrop. At the end of the month, you can cancel it. It's not a contract you have to keep for a full year. You can do it for a month at a time and watch the playoffs, all the playoffs. It's not one game. It's for the month as a whole. And so if you want to stay with the Eagles and follow them through the playoffs and can't be there in person, NFHSnetwork.com, as many as they'll let me have, I will travel with this team and we'll call all the games we can. We will be a non-biased broadcast for Eagle baseball. I will do my best. It's hard. I will be honest. I'm a Georgetown fan. But we will do our best to represent both teams. I have stats for both programs on all of my stuff, so I will bring it the best I can. But so people don't go searching for any links, I will not tweet them out. I have nothing to tweet out. NFHSnetwork.com. We'll send them all out. You can just Google that and then go to there and look for the Georgetown link for baseball and pop it up and join us live online. We'll bring it to you. It'll be the same thing, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch to bring you all things Georgetown Eagle baseball and Navarro Viking baseball this week in the by-district. Any shout-outs before I let you go? Because I have to run before I get in trouble.
Yeah, you better hurry up and get out of here. Love you, J-Mo. Love you, Mercer. Love you, Mama. Macy. Everybody else. Make sure that you show up, be loud, wear blue. It's that fun time of the year, baby.
To Cooper Ashby, thanks for joining us tonight. To Grace King, thank you so much for being our first ever Stat Girl interview. I loved it, and I will make it better next year. I apologize. Tell the girls I do apologize so much for not doing it before. But to the Ashbys, thank you, Cooper, for joining us, and we appreciate it. Sorry you're the last senior, but I'm kind of glad we went out with a bang. The most intelligent, educated, driven young man I've met. His teammates even showed up to cheer him on. So.
Get out of here.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The Eagle Baseball Coaches Show brought to you by the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club here at the Mesquite Creek Outfitters, 704 South Austin Avenue. Thanks for joining us. We'll be live tomorrow night at NFHS with your broadcast. Thanks for joining us tonight. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind.